So listen, if any of you guys are thinking about doing your own podcast, man, I highly recommend you use Anchor. Anchor.fm. It's free. You know what I mean? It's got all the tools and stuff you need to make your stuff sound spiffy. You know what I mean? It's seamless. It's user friendly. You can record it from your phone. You record it from your computer. You know what I'm saying? If you wanted to be on Spotify or Apple Podcast or anything like that, it'll do it for you. You know, you can make some money. You know what I mean? Doing a sponsorship ad and just like something like this. And it's also free. So if you're interested in it, man, you can download the free Anchor app or you can go to anchor.fm. Good luck.
Alrighty, folks. Back in the lab, back in the studio. Captain's Log Podcast, episode 25. Have my lovely wife with me, Lelia. Hey, boo.
Hello.
What's going on? How you doing?
Nothing. Nervous.
Nervous again?
Yeah.
We went through this a while ago, all right? You, after about 2 minutes, you're not even going to be paying attention. Plus, you got your drinky drink. Mm-mm. Well, anyway, we're going to do kind of a marriage talk. Just going to be kind of all over the place, but should be some pretty good content. So, anyway, recently we went to New Orleans for our 6-year anniversary. Very good trip. We hadn't been anywhere in a while, so it was definitely huge for us. What did you think about the trip?
The trip was definitely something we needed. Like you said, we don't travel much, and I would point the finger at you, but I think
We ain't got to be pointing no fingers.
we both could take the blame for my lack of planning. But the trip was definitely something that we needed. But New Orleans was something that I wanted to, a place where I wanted to travel for like almost over 10 years now. So to be like 35 in New Orleans during COVID was probably not what I was expecting it to be. And as far as like traveling with you on like a major trip, I probably would have preferred all-inclusive island or something.
Mm-hmm. Probably wasn't the best idea, but it was still the thought and just us getting away that counted.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's like a check in the box now. But I would definitely have to go maybe at like 40 and do like my Stella got her groove back type thing with like my girls.
You want to go back to New Orleans when you turn 40?
With my girls, not with you.
You want to be on Bourbon Street at 40 years old?
Yeah, with the halter.
Halter my ass.
And
you're going to be in the bed by 8.
And my cross on my back that stands for blessed that ass. So, yeah.
Whatever. Well, I definitely thought it was good, you know what I'm saying? Just no kids, even though we kind of had to periodically check in on them.
Mm-hmm. But I definitely felt more comfortable traveling this time versus when we went on a cruise, definitely. So I felt...
Yeah, the cruise was fun. But yeah, we did have to, I think it was the fact that once we got out to a certain point, we couldn't really call home.
Yeah. And so it was like, it is what it is.
Yeah. A cruise was fun. I would definitely want to do a cruise again. It got to be like maybe like 5 days or something. Got to be at least 5 days. Mm-hmm. A little 3-day joint ain't shit. By the time it's really a day of sailing, which you didn't even realize that going from Florida to Coco Cay, whole time it was only like 30 miles away.
I don't know what it is, but I feel like cruises give me like family vibes, not like intimacy, like, oh, Leon, I want to take this cruise. And maybe because, we haven't really traveled much, but the cruise just give me family vibes. Like, I was like, I wish my kids were here.
Well, that's because we was on Royal Caribbean.
Oh, yeah.
That's why. If we was on Carnival somewhere, you know what I'm saying, we'd have been turning the hell up the whole time. We were on a family.
That's what I heard. I heard that
cruise.
Carnival what is like the...
It's the party.
It's
the party
like
boat.
It's like compared to like Southeast, and then Royal Caribbean is compared.
It's like Bethesda.
It's like Bethesda or Upper Marbury or something like that.
You better tighten up, Carnival. But yeah, it was good though. I'm still a little blown about the food though. I was just really expecting like the food to just be.
So, according to our friends who travel a lot, the Hamptons, Atala has told me that. Well, we spoke last night about the trip, and she was saying that she felt like we may have not hit all the right spots. And I do feel like, it was kind of like on the whim. This is like a place where I wanted to go, so we didn't like strategically plan out like our everyday. And then we also didn't know what was going to be available to us while on
Plus, we had a
travel.
late start every day too.
Not
resting.
as much. Yeah, just resting,
Yeah.
but not like intentional.
Well, Daphne had mentioned Oceana, if I'm not mistaken,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I said that it was Oceana up here,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why we didn't.
But
end
when
up
I
going
looked
to
at the
it.
menu had looked good. I mean, because maybe Oceana would have gave like a New Orleans style menu or something. I don't know.
All I know is all the food made me go to the bathroom, so I'm just like,
Leon, you always go to the bathroom.
yeah, but I mean,
doesn't
like,
matter what
like,
it is.
like extendo. You know what I mean? But nonetheless, a check in the box and definitely opened my eyes to planning future trips. You know what I mean? California 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully
With the kids.
with the kids. But see, my thing is, just to being, I want to say being in the service made me not want to travel.
Mm-hmm.
But even before that, like I didn't never really wanted to go nowhere. Like my mom used to go to Virginia, like Southern Virginia.
But do you think because it was like so local, like that's why you just you never got to see anything else? So like for me, I was a part of Upward Bound, and like every summer we traveled to a different state. It was by bus, it wasn't by plane. But to me, like coming from a kid from Southeast who went as far as like North Carolina, like that was a highlight for me. Like going to Boston and Detroit and Canada and I can't even think of all the other places we went, but like just going on those college tours and just being in a different environment, like it definitely kind of like opened my eyes. And I was like, when I leave the house, like, well, when I graduate high school and get out of college, I'm definitely going to travel. And I didn't do that. And shout out to my friend's mom. She used to always tell us, she was like, wait to date and just travel. And I was like, travel with what money? But whole time people been traveling with like $300 checks.
Yeah.
And we just been sitting here, but they've been planning.
Yeah.
So like no discredit to them. They just knew how to plan properly.
Well, Glenn, shout out to Glenn. Glenn definitely opened my eyes to impromptu trips. You know what I'm saying? With really not a whole lot of money. We took a carry-on trip was what they call it, when all we had was duffel bags, and we, went to California.
Shout out to me, because who encouraged
you
you to
told
go?
me to go. You
Yeah.
did. You gave me the green light. I put the permission
Not
slip
even
in.
a green light, but I just felt like it was something you needed.
I wasn't gonna go because I just felt like, it's like last minute, and he had mentioned it to me, but he had called me back, like he was like dead ass, like I need to buy the tickets now. You know what I mean? But it turned out to be fun, and like I said, I had been to California before, but it was when I was in the service, so I wasn't there for leisure. But the vibe was it was a really good vibe. We was in Venice Beach, and we was downtown. And we was in Long Beach. We was kind of like all over the place. A lot of places that we didn't go to. I wanted to go to the hood. You know what I mean? I wanted to go take the picture at the Nipsey Hussle portrait, the official one, even though there was other portraits all over the state. You know what I mean? But I definitely wanted to do that. But it was fun. Like, it was just fun. And we really had no direction. And if it's anything I can change, I definitely would have wanted to have gotten up early and got on the move. We weren't even leaving out till 12, 1 o'clock like each day. Like, dog, it's a lot of time being wasted, and then it's like we're trying to squeeze everything in until whatever festivities we had in the evening. But my mom used to. I mean, even though North Carolina and Virginia, I just didn't want to go. Like, I always just wanted to be with my friends. Like, I didn't want to go nowhere. Even when I was in the service, I hated when they say, "Oh yeah, you got to go to Texas for school." Like, I hated it. And Texas was nice. El Paso was a nice looking city or whatever. But I was like, bro, I just want to go home. Like, I don't know what ties me to Maryland.
Yeah,
But
because every time we have the conversation about like would we move, and then I love giving my is it like scenarios? What do you call them?
your scenarios.
Yes, like
If
what
you
if
had
somebody
$1 million or
what
some
if
shit.
somebody offered you $200,000 a year? Would you move to the state? And you're like, nah. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, I need you to.
I mean,
I don't know.
I'm if I have to really really think about it now, it's not saying I wouldn't move, but it's just like I feel like we got a really strong foundation in a new house. Just
I ain't gonna
moved in.
lie. When Brandon and Janae had moved to Atlanta, and every time Brandon and Janae came to visit, and they were like, "Oh, we really love it," I was like, I want to move down there with them just to kind of like have a fresh start. I don't know what it was, and not Atlanta per se, because we already know everybody loves Atlanta.
Everybody go from here to Atlanta.
Or maybe just Georgia or whatever. Because like to me, it's no hype for me to be like in Atlanta. Like that's not what I'm chasing. I'm more chasing like a new environment. So when they had came back up and they was like, "Ooh, you guys should look into it," Janae was trying to convince us a little bit or whatever to possibly make that move.
It is nice where they are. It's nice where they at. I mean, I won't take nothing away from it, but I just think it's more for me because it's like I kind of hold my friendships and stuff like so close. It's like, damn, I can't leave my mans in them. You know what I'm saying?
And they will travel down there.
And the crazy thing is, it's just like if it was just family, like I would go. If I didn't really fool with nobody up here, then I would have been left. But if it's just family, like I'd be like, well, I mean, I don't really be pulling up on my folks like that anyway. So it's like I would have no problem getting up and moving. But I don't know. I mean, I just think about all the times when I was at home and I just Friday afternoon, it'd be days I didn't have no money and I would just drive up this joint and just be broke. And then drive back home and drive back down south and just be like, God, eat. And I would literally come up here and not do nothing. But I just wanted to be home.
I don't know. To me, I don't hold any loyalty to Maryland. Like when I graduated high school and our college counselor was like, well, where do you want to go? I was like, away. And everybody was like, oh, well, you can go to Bowie State University or you can go to UDC, do 2 years just to make sure that you're ready to go away. I was like, no, send me away as soon as possible, because I had already had that foundation of just having like a new environment in Upward Bound. So it was like, I want to see the world. Like I want to be away.
Yeah.
Like my loyalty will always be to my close girlfriends and family and stuff like that. Not even girlfriends, but to Kim basically, and to my family. But I could leave.
I really didn't want to go to Bowie.
And it wouldn't mean anything.
I didn't want to go to Bowie. I wanted to go to the University of Maryland.
Really?
I wanted to go there because it was similar to how my high school was. It was a little bit everybody. Bowie State is all black.
But how did you know that? You mean based on what you've seen?
No, I wanted to. Well, we used to pull up on University of Maryland when we was in high school trying to get at college joints. Really, trying to jump out there. We used to go to their parties. Just back then when anybody can get on the campus. Mm-hmm. So we would go down.
Oh, you mean the bars? Where we used to hang out with Steven.
Down there. We used to go on the campus. Mm-hmm. And they'd have parties. We used to just sneak in them joints. You know what I mean? But it was like, for what I saw, well, back then, it seemed like it was a predominantly white college. Mm-hmm. But as the time went by, I seen it was a little bit, it's more diverse than I thought. And I was like, well, I definitely would prefer to be in a more of a mixed area. Mm-hmm. But Bowie State was like, that shit was off the chain. But anyway. So we did the trip. I mean, definitely want to do Cali 2021, take the family. I mean, if I have anything to say about it, I would really prefer to stay like at least in the same area we were in, which was Venice Beach. I felt like it was cool. The beach was right there, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times you didn't have to drive. Mm-hmm. It was rental bikes everywhere, scooters, kind of like downtown DC, and like you know what I mean? It's not all crazy. I just, when you start getting further down into the city, that's where shit start getting crazy.
Okay, so would you move to Cali? I don't know, because when you came back, you were like, "Oh, Cali is like so great, so awesome."
I just think if the money ratio, if the money to cost of living ratio was there, yes, I would move to California.
Wow.
I would. I don't know where in Cali, because it's like the state is huge. Mm-hmm. So it's like I don't know where, but I know that it's I can just tell like a lot of people that was there, like everybody, people was happy. Like,
But remember, you probably won't remember, but like at one point, I had started getting these visions about California, and I started like looking for, I don't know, started looking for homes, and I think it's Santa. What's the TV show on Netflix?
Clarita.
Yeah, Santa Clarita. So I like started looking at homes over there for some reason, and I still have this like in my vision, these California homes. So I don't know, we might end up in California.
We'll see.
And I might end up on the TV show Insecure. Like, come on, I will be like the
You
best.
ain't giving up on that, huh?
You know, I'm
Issa,
not.
Issa, you need to hook it up, all right? Hook it
Yeah,
up.
and I could be like not the new Molly, but and not my girl. What's my girl?
What's the silly one?
No, Condola.
Yeah.
I could be like a mix of Condola and Molly together.
Y'all really could be like not really two of the same, but y'all could be the ones going back and forth with each other. I think it'd be hilarious.
Exactly.
All right, so we've been in the house together for pushing a year. It'll be a year in February, March.
I feel like it's been a year because if you calculate the time that we had to stay with Daphne, we kind of been like locked down.
So it's
for
about
a while.
year. I mean, do you feel like for us it's been good? It's been bad? It's been like same as if we both were going to work every day, or
I definitely feel like it highlighted I don't want to call it weaknesses like with myself, but it kind of made me realize stuff that I need to work on. And then it kind of like just highlighted the stuff that like on a normal day where I will go to work, come home, cook, clean, and stuff like that, I can kind of tuck those feelings and those emotions away. But like being in the house is like I'm front row center to like my own personal mess.
could you give some examples?
Procrastination.
A little bit.
Lack of communication all across the board with you and I. I could be going through something and I'll just walk around the house and be slamming stuff.
Slamming stuff.
And and to be honest, as a parent, like definitely taking out that frustration on the kids when it comes to like trying to enforce them to do what they're supposed to do, but kind of like forcing my own unrealistic expectations on them and you too, and on friendships. So it's definitely it's been a very humbling experience for me.
Absolutely. For me, I thought it was fun in the beginning because I'm such a worker bee. I'm always at work or overtime, and it take me an hour to get there and back. And then if I'm doing extracurricular activity or basketball or the gym or cycling or something like that after, like that was a lot of time that was taken away from being in the house. But it's like you wake up at 7 and you go downstairs, you log in, and you're sitting there, and then like 8:30, you get up and it's either cereal today or it's oatmeal or it's oatmeal or some type of protein, or it's some type of protein and eggs, and then it just rotates. And then after that, lady, you have coffee. It's just like this.
It's no spontaneity. Like usually I could go to work and go without breakfast because then like my work day will start busy.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like, no, I'm always eating. What the hell?
Yeah.
But go ahead.
So it's like then you eating, and then it's just like I think it took me about 6 months to realize, like, damn, like didn't we just spend about $200-300 on groceries, and all this shit gone already? So it's like now, it's. I feel like we're going through money on groceries as much as if we was eating out all the time.
That's ridiculous.
And it's really not the case. But it's like after that routine, after like the first 3 months, I was like, fuck, man. So of course, start playing the game a little more, and even then, sometimes that kind of just wasn't getting it done, and then maybe try to sit outside, but it's just, I just think the work was just really getting on me because the work has always been stressful. But it's like you would think that, oh, you can work from home and do the same thing, but it's like when I'm home, when I'm home, I feel like I'm home. So I don't be feeling like doing no extra shit or what I mean, this, that, and the third, or having to have meetings. I gotta clean up and what I'm saying, clean myself up and all that. Like I just want to be home. But when I'm at the office or I'm headed to work, what I mean, I like to look my best. But just between that and the kids, what I mean, and it's like Aiden is kind of self-sufficient. You just gotta make sure he kind of doing what he's supposed to do. But this preschool shit for Harley is the worst because you can just see the frustration from the teachers, dealing with the kids, and it's like you would think that it'd be easier for them to do their lessons because all the children are home with the parents, but that's just not the case. It's just as bad. It's like some of the parents are just putting them on the tablets and then walking the hell off. And then if they not doing what they doing, it's disruptions and all this, that, and the third. And it's like us being responsible parents. Well, more so you dealing with it more than me. But you got to sit there and you got your work to do, and you got to deal with some other child virtually. So and then it's just like even just the boredom. Like some days it's just boring.
And I think it's crazy because I discussed this with you. Like I prayed for work-life balance. Like I was like, I want to be able to telework so freaking bad. And then I feel like God is like, this what you want for real? But I was talking to a girlfriend. She was like, dog, this is not work-life balance. Like, stop trying to. She was like, don't set yourself up. You want work-life balance. This is not work-life balance.
No, it's not. I mean, that's why I was like, man, if I was able to go in the office once, twice a week, even 3 times, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would, at this point, like, I would go into the office every day and just say, hey, but I don't have to come in on Saturday. I can do Saturday from home. Like, that would be enough balance for me.
You know what's crazy? That all 4 of us in this house feels the same way. Like, Aiden has these, like, little sidebar conversations. He's like, I wish I was in the classroom. Like, I wish I was back at school. And we already know Harley, like, she craves that interaction. So she has to be in a classroom. So it's like we're all suffering somehow, some way.
Yeah. So I mean, then so just to kind of combat all of these different emotions, it's like you try to work out, for the kids, try to set up play dates for Harley, for Aiden, he do his little workout boot camp joints for kids, but it's still not enough. It's not enough because we still can't move around freely. Like now you gotta wear a mask everywhere.
And we literally, like, we're not newly homeowners, but still it's the fact that we've been in here since March and our kids haven't been able to fully like explore the neighborhood.
No, I have not.
Other than us walking them around the pond or making Aiden ride his bike.
And even if you tell him that, like, he not gonna go but so far because he like, shit, I don't want to get lost. You know what I mean? Even though he got a phone. You know what I mean? But it's just like now they behind. Yeah. Behind schedule. And now he'll be, if we lucky, he'll be going to he'll be going straight to middle school.
And that's a whole
different ball game. But so it's that stress. So I just think with that stress, especially for me, the way that I handle stress is I shut down. So I just bottom line is like I miss the days when it's like I missed y'all. It's like I'm at work and the day is structured. I'm like, fuck.
And
man.
we talking in between like 12
we talking
or 1
between.
o'clock.
It's really just me complaining one day or you complaining another day. We just kind of taking turns. I just miss that shit. It's just like those were the times where like, man, I wish I could we could just take off and just be like. And now it's like we have an abundance of that time, and it's like, all right, we kind of like
way too much time.
It's like we kind of like indirectly smothering each other.
And that's how I felt like people like, oh, do you love your home? Absolutely, I love my home, but I haven't had a chance to miss my home. Here it is, November going on December, and I just like did something to my little space that I call my space.
Well, you got 29 more years to spruce it up. So
I know, but like having that time to miss your home, especially a new home, it like builds up all this creativity where you can like jot down ideas. You can research this, not on the clock, because you're working, but on the clock, kind of
Yeah.
like, but yeah.
Quote on the clock. Shit, I did this room in the middle of the night while I was working overtime. So
Exactly.
it is what it is. So we end up going to therapy.
Mm.
Well, virtual therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Having arguments, petty squabbles, if you want to call it, to a point where it's just like, all right, we need to go and talk to get some professional help because, shit it wasn't a good look.
Mm-hmm.
Go to my job, say, hey, look, EAP, I need you to hook me up. If you are a federal employee or even a contractor, everyone has
Absolutely.
an employee assistance program. If you need some therapy, you get about between 3 to 6
And
sessions
let's
for free.
normalize therapy, especially because, I'm an advocate for like marriage and like sustaining marriage. And I think people get the idea that you have to go to therapy because things are going wrong. So I have a friend, I'm not going to mention their name, but I heard they said, oh, Leon and Lila in counseling, I didn't know they had issues. No, we don't have like we don't have.
Who the fuck said that?
I'm not gonna tell you, but if they listen, they'll know. But it's funny because to them they don't understand that like therapy is important, and like my marriage is important. Like my marriage, being married to you is important, and sustaining that and keeping it healthy is like important. So if we got to go to counseling every 2 years to get over a hump, like we just bought a home. We just bought a home. You just started a business. Like this is opening not wounds, but this is opening a whole new experience. And I think it's important for us to kind of like reshuffle and figure out where you are, where I am, how can I meet your needs, how can you meet my needs and stuff like that. So I wish that people will normalize therapy and be honest.
Do people really be like making a big deal if somebody go to therapy?
Yes, because they think, yeah,
is that just
we got issues.
Is that just for women?
Me and you got issues. No.
No. I mean, what I'm saying is that like the perception? It's like you go to therapy. What the fuck wrong with you? Type deal. Is that
no? Because when I think about it, we've been married for 6 years. So we started off with Pastor Turner, right? And then we had to turn around and go back because you snitched on me. You remember that?
So
we had to go back to therapy, and then 2 years later, we went through veterans, which he sucked ass.
He fucking sucked.
And then this lady who sucked ass too, but
she does suck.
but it doesn't matter because I feel like we're forced to figure out how to better communicate with one another.
I just feel like none of them have been great, but it just kind of been like.
It forced us to be like
they're not great, but I can kind of at least point you in the right direction. But from there, you on your own. I haven't felt like we've gotten like the full like long leather chair sitting with your feet back. You know what I'm saying?
You know the best counseling we had was the workshop we went to when I set up the date, and we went to go see your Logic after.
Oh yeah.
And we just sat and talked to that couple the last session that we had. And I felt like that was probably the best counseling we ever received, like based on like people who were professionals.
I thought the pastor who married us was pretty good.
Which one?
Pastor who married us.
Pastor Turner.
Yeah, I thought he was pretty good.
But you said he was biased.
Well, it was like 1 week he was on your side, 1 week he was on my side. I'm like, bro, I need you to kind of like, I felt like I was just waiting too long to kind of like get my turn type deal.
Okay, so while we're on the topic of Pastor Turner, for your listeners, or especially married people, because I'm such a spiritual person, I always hear talk about being, and I don't know if you heard the term, but I would just like for you to kind of give your thoughts on this topic, being equally yoked. Have you heard that term?
Equally yoked? Mm-hmm. What does that mean?
So basically, I would say that it's like I have a spiritual relationship with God. We both will have a spiritual relationship with God because let's just say I go through something, and God forbid it's an illness or it's a relative that is like severely ill, and in order for you to be there for me, we will have to have some type of spiritual connection because I'm believing something. I'm having faith about something that I can't see, and you like, this nigga on his deathbed, he about to die. But me, I see things differently. So that's like that. In that aspect, we may not be equally yoked. But I was hoping that you kind of paid attention. We're going to talk about this later. But just being equally yoked, because that means a lot. Because, like, let's just say, God forbid, like, something happens to my mom or whatever the case is, and I'm praying every night, and I'm like, God, please, please protect my mom, watch over her, keep her here. And you're looking at things in the earthly sense, and you're like, yeah, it's not looking good. So how would you?
I wouldn't say nothing like that. I may
but
be
you
thinking,
would be
I may
thinking
be
that
thinking
exactly.
that. I may be. Based on the information, I may be like, yeah. I mean, in the past, if this same situation, it's pretty much a done deal. I mean, I would probably
Leon,
thinking that,
but
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that because that sounds like I'm not really supporting you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I would. I mean, in a sense, I would have to kind of skew my thoughts. Mm-hmm. To make sure that I'm making you as comfortable as I can make you.
All right, so we're not going to stay long on this topic, but I will say that because you know that I pray for you all the time, mm-hmm. and I'm not a perfect person, but that's just my spiritual walk or whatever. And I'm very spiritual when it comes to things that you're like seeking and like really pursuing. I'm praying on your behalf, and I think that's when the term come up about like being equally yoked, because who's praying for me when I'm going hard for you? Like who's spiritually praying for me? And although that is not your take or your walk, don't be fooled that what I do, in the spiritual realm for you is not pushing you to where you need to be. So I guess it's just like, then who's praying for me? And we're not gonna get too serious, but I definitely
it's getting a little deep.
But no, I definitely want the viewers to have like a idea of like my depiction and stuff like that of marriage and my outlook, and I think that's important.
Understood. Well, I think that the support aspect is so important. Even now, like, what's going on. Like, everybody's situation ain't our situation. Mm-hmm. Everybody ain't at home every day complaining because they seen each other every day. Like, some people is out there working, and some people ain't working at all. Mm. And, it can be stressful. So it's like you really have to dig deep to maintain some level or that level of support. And I know that we both don't do that all the time, and I think that's something that we constantly work on. Mm-hmm. I mean, some days I'm just irritated. I just wake up and I just don't want to be bothered, and none of y'all have done anything. But it's just one of them days. It could just be raining, and I'm like, fuck, it's gonna be a busy day. Or you could be having, and it's like you can be having something going on, and I'm just kind of like in my mind, I'm like, I mean, I kind of feel like what I got going on is more important. Mm-hmm. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, I still got to try to dig deep to have some level of support, mm-hmm. even though sometimes I don't want to. Mm-hmm. And I think that sucks because, you don't, it's a bad habit. But I just think we're doing the best we can with the cards that we dealt. You know what I mean? It's always room for improvement, mm-hmm. but we got to get a vaccine, man. We got to get back to normal. It's just this shit is crazy. It ain't enough PlayStation. It ain't enough Coors Light Banquet. Not. It ain't enough damn tequila.
And it ain't enough love.
It's not enough love. Like, we are not meant to just be in the house with each other every day. Like, it's meant to take our ass to work. You know what I'm saying? Shoot a couple of texts throughout the day. Maybe talk to each other at lunch, and I'll see your ass at home. Mm-hmm. That's what we are meant to do. And this in the house shit every day. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, you can't lose no fucking weight. Listen, for those who out here running, shout to Wally and them, running 6-7 miles a day.
Denise and Keisha killing the damn game.
I can't do it. I'm my best person when I have a reason to get up. And me getting up an hour or two before I got to be working in the house to go and run and then be in pain the rest of the day. It's not happening. I'm going to CrossFit tomorrow though, morning, but it's tough. I think this pandemic definitely. They were saying that shit on TV, divorce rates and all that other shit. It's like I can see it.
No, it's real.
I can see it. It's just like
people are getting bored.
Yeah, you're getting bored, and it's just like,
and
damn.
then it's like you starting to see your partner for
who starting to see what they really are. You're like, oh, this person was so fun. It's like, well, you can't be fun. You see somebody every day for like fucking 300 days. I mean, it feels like modern day. It feels like jail sometimes. The kids don't give a shit. They're like, Dad, I need this, I need that. It's like the job don't stop. You know what I mean? But, I don't know. This shit sucks. It really does. It's just I can go on about this shit fucking for the rest of the night, but it really does suck. But I think the therapy is helping. The lady does suck though. Maybe she just been doing the shit too long, and she just like, well, I got 32 years. I don't give a fuck.
You want to try exercise?
No, I don't.
You don't?
I mean,
we can show them how they're supposed to communicate. No.
No. Let's not kid ourselves, honey. But I mean, I also think, just keeping ourselves busy is what helped, you know what I'm saying? Like you really like jumped out there and started making, some tweaks to the house, something that you wanted to do for a while. And
I don't think like I know you're like, dang, y'all like radical for real. Like you just doing things out of the blue. But no, and I get that, but I'm so reserved, and that's naturally who I am. But I'm not going to be fulfilled until I start moving outside of that. So once we're still learning each other, obviously. But once you learn it about me, like I get out of my comfort zone, which is being reserved, I'm not really fulfilling my needs. So the whole office, me painting the office and then putting the wallpaper up before I start the work week, you don't know how much that stimulated me, both mentally, like, and physically too, because like I needed to get moving.
I get it.
And being in this house is like, I had admitted to Kim, that's why I said normalized therapy, about like these moments of like seasonal depression, like how it can like really hit you and you don't even know. You're like, what the hell, what is going on with me, why I'm so somber or like down, or 1 minute I have energy, the next minute I don't. This pandemic is like,
shit is crazy. I mean, and it's like, in the summertime it was cool. I was like, man, long work week, man, I can get up with the fellas, we can, you know what I'm saying, blow a couple of cigars, it could be cool. But it's like, man, that shit taking its course as well. It's like, all right, now, well, I mean, what am I going to do next?
Because it's like,
we kind of we didn't ran this shit to the ground.
Usually you would do that, like you had a long day at work. Now it's like you had a long day with work. It's not at work. So yeah, like you look forward to those days of that time with the fellas and having cigars, or maybe going to the bar to have a drink or something like that, and vice versa. Going out with the ladies, it's like, it's nothing I want to celebrate. Like half of the time I just want to just lay in the bed.
Yeah, and I mean, it should have definitely make you lazy. You know what I mean? Just it do be days when I'll be having no energy. I mean, I'm more of a morning person, so it's like I don't mind just getting up. But it's like once it's not morning anymore, and then I'm starting to tone down. So once it's lunchtime, I'm lazy. I don't want to do shit. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, well, you like, well, hey, can you look at this with me? Can you look at that with me? And I be like, no, I don't. I don't want to do anything.
I get it.
But
I mean, just like you want to watch TV shows in the middle of the day, I'm just like, I really don't have the time.
Well,
not with a preschooler at home, and then me trying to sustain my job.
Damn, back hurt. Oh, well,
yeah.
I mean, what do we do? I mean, what? I mean, I feel like we we got some good stuff going now. We made some adjustments. But the shit, we ain't gonna be able to do but so much around. We ain't gonna keep spending money every check, changing some shit in the house, even though it's enough to go around.
It is.
To be honest, I feel like it may not have nothing to do with anything, but if I fulfill a lot more satisfaction when that damn furniture that we ordered in August.
I do feel the same way.
Look, we ordered furniture. We went to Value City, got a nice little 6-piece joint, couch from Value City. We got that shit like the first week in August, and they said we wasn't gonna get it to October. So I'm like, God damn. And they was like, well, it's COVID. The furniture be coming in on ships. So I'm like, all right, cool. So then I just happened to look at the tracking in probably September, and that shit said November. I'm like, hell no. So I'm like, cancel my shit. Cancel the order. And then we go to Bob's and we go to, what else we went? Regency or somewhere. And everybody's shit was the same. So I'm like, shit, we need to go back and get the order. So then we get the order back, and it's the same date. And now it's in December. And it's like, I haven't checked it lately, but I just get that feeling that we're not going to get this furniture till like fucking January.
See, this is where we need to be equally yoked. You have faith, I have faith that the furniture will arrive when it say it's going to arrive.
I would rather just wake up in the morning and they banging on the door like, we got your shit.
Look, we ordered our bedroom furniture and it came ASAP. I don't feel like we kind of anticipated anything. Like now it's just like, we're not anticipating. I want to like bite my nail off.
And then the only thing they got in stock is the expensive shit. The leather recliners, the bad basement furniture. Oh, we don't want that. We want the shit we ordered. But it's like back in the day, that little shit would have been nothing. It's the smallest stuff that just irritates me now. You know what I'm saying? And then to still have to go and do my daily routine. And it's like, I don't feel like fathering today. Like I just don't want. I don't feel like fathering or husbanding today. I just want to fucking be left alone.
That's
like,
how I felt today. Like after I dropped, just had a sleepover for the kids. And I was just like done. I was just like ready to just watch TV all day long. And it's like now we're literally the weekends is like trying to occupy the kids. It's not even, oh, I just had a stressful week at work. Let me just kind of like take my hairpiece off or whatever. And like, no, I can't do that. Like I have to entertain the kids.
You're doing a great job, hon.
Yeah.
All right. So what's the plan for the future? I definitely mentioned more traveling. I think my ultimate goal is.
Are you talking about independent or joint?
Us.
Oh, okay.
Us. Definitely travel, set up more trips. Whether it's something small.
I need you to plan a date while we're on the air.
Need to plan a date. Whenever we can go somewhere.
No, we can go somewhere. You just
I would love to do some cool outside shit, but it's getting cold, so it had to be one of them days where we get that little good 60-degree day.
Leon, we're not. I just heard a saying: you don't wait for the perfect time to create a perfect moment.
Where you hear that at?
This is going to be recorded for a lifetime. Do I need to keep rewinding? I can bring my phone to you and be like, Leon, listen to this.
Really putting me on blast right now.
Yeah.
She been asking for a date for like a solid year.
What the hell? I'm not your damn fluke ass girlfriend. Like, no, I'm not asking. I'm demanding.
You just a better planner.
And I don't want to go out to eat, nigga. I'm already eating enough. So,
I mean, we gotta keep you full out here.
No, I don't want to eat. You need to get creative.
I will.
Go on Pinterest.
I will do my best.
I'll create a board for you.
I'll create my own board.
You don't even be on Pinterest. You still got the app?
No, I never had that.
Yes, you did.
You got me mixed up.
You went to Safari and like typed in Pinterest. You was on Pinterest. You sent me stuff.
I might have Googled it. I wouldn't have no Pinterest account.
Leon, you sent me messages on Pinterest.
I Googled it.
You inboxed me on Pinterest.
Google let you do that.
You sent me a DM on Pinterest.
It was a screenshot.
It was a DM.
Trick bag. Anyway.
It was a PM.
Set up.
Because it's Pinterest. You get it? Pinterest message.
Set up more trips. Definitely. The ultimate goal is to be able to have the family trips, the us trips, and us still be able to do our own thing, all wrapped in a bow. It's definitely a goal. Definitely continue to find ways to love each other more. Love you more. I love you.
Love you.
And just keep growing. I just feel like we just it's a great team. We can't lose.
I always say that, like I do, like I commend you because I think after I have my petty moments, I'm like, dang, I could have been just a little less petty, not like all the way, like bring it back to zero, but like at like I could have stayed at like 70% petty.
That's who you are. Don't change who you are.
But no, I definitely commend you for like, so when I make my post about like our fight, I think people believe that marriage is like supposed to be like perfect, and
Hell no.
it's not.
People don't really want to sign up for that lifetime headache.
No,
they really don't. They
see. I think they see the house, they see the cars or the truck or whatever, your studio or whatever the case is, and they be like, dang, they doing. Yes, we are extremely blessed, but it does not come without fight. It does not come without
that shit
fight.
come from, okay, well, I had to work this extra shift, or I got to work a 16-hour shift, or you're not gonna be home, and then when you come home, you're not gonna be bothered with nobody for like 2 days till you get till you recover. Like, hey, I don't think people don't really want to sign up for that shit. It's like they don't really want to do the struggle, because I always say, I feel as though you're not really living your best, if you want to say your best life, whatever the cliche is, until you get in your 40s. I'm sticking with that. I think by that time, once you in your 40s, if you had your kids in your teens or your 20s or 30s, by that time they're old enough that you don't got to take them everywhere with you.
And shout out to Dave and Nikki, who like literally has been telling us this for years, and we will go back and forth to them with like our struggles, like. We did this. We combined it. Like we could talk financial or whatever, finances or whatever. We combine the accounts, and we still don't see like the fruits of our labor. And just shout out to them for continuing to like encourage us and just kind of like, look, give it like 2 more years, like you know, be firm, stick with the plan, and keep going and like that, like because I don't think we would have survived if it wasn't not just for them, but just like their foreshadowing of what was expecting to come.
No. Look, somebody got to show you the way.
Yeah.
You always gotta have that one couple. It's a cold hard facts. There's always gonna be that one couple or that good friend that they doing better than you.
Yep.
Either because they older or they in a better situation.
And stop. I'm not saying stop, but it doesn't do you any justice to keep people around you who not necessarily are not doing as good as you, but if everybody is doing what you're doing or less than, you're not learning and you're not growing. You're not being.
If everybody doing the same bullshit,
exactly.
You gotta have somebody.
Yeah, like you have not reached a peak. You have not, regardless of how far you've come, your upbringing or whatever the case is, or your status quo, like you have not reached a peak. There's always levels to wherever you are, and it's good to keep those people around you who can kind of like, I'm up here, let me show you where you could be, or I don't know, like the lengths that you could go. So
absolutely. Well, we're 47 minutes, 48 minutes, boo-boo.
I said 20 minutes.
You said 45.
Oh.
Anything else you would like to add?
No.
I think we hit some good stuff tonight.
But yeah, definitely like Marriage Talk 3 or...
So we are calling this Marriage too?
Just talk. Just relation. No.
You just said Marriage Talk. You said Marriage Talk. Why can't we just call it Marriage too?
But I definitely, you know what? I definitely want to talk about... today wasn't like a real serious conversation, but I would love to talk about like your upbringing and like how that could kind of like spill over into marriage and stuff like that.
You're trying to get deep.
Yeah. Because we have these conversations about our upbringing and what we had to experience, and then how we brought some of those negatives into the marriage, based on what we experienced as kids and stuff like that.
Yeah, you right. Okay.
And I always said, I always see us doing like, marriage is my thing. So
It's our thing.
it's our thing. And like I said, I really admire Nikki and Dave, and
I
like
gotta get their ass in here.
I would love for us to not saying it like that. Maybe another couple could, benefit from another couple, but I would love to be who they were to us to somebody else.
Yeah, I think we definitely will. I mean, it's somebody always need to be kind of like shown.
And we still got years and years to grow and learn. I
Mm-hmm.
always emphasize that, but I definitely no one could take away from us that we consistently like regroup, reset the foundation. Like we always we humble ourselves basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. All right, well, I'm tired. I'm ready to go to bed.
Don't be tiring me while I'm on your episode.
I'm ready to go to bed. You ain't see me moving around the whole time, moving back and
Did
forth.
I stay in front of the mic?
You stayed in front of the mic. Well, I figured it out, so I can make sure the sound is great at all times now. But
Let me do Megan.
we're not bodying nothing. Sit down. So we're gonna wrap this up. Episode 25, Marriage 2. That's what I'm calling it. Sticking with it. Featuring my wife, Lelia Marbury.
Is it Leela or Lila?
Well, the government says Leela. You like to be called Lila. I'm going with the government. I don't want no problems. Anyway, so I hope you guys enjoyed it, and stand by. Tapping out.